business number 3 turned out to be a securities-based lending business that looked and acted a lot like margin lending,
But
except it was for non-purpose margin.
such as?
Which means if you want to finance a yacht or a car or a new business or your child's college education or a beach home, you could do it through a portfolio of securities using the money for anything other than trading purposes. So that's why they call it a non-purpose loan. It means it has a purpose other than trading the market. And we built that from a startup to probably about a $15 billion book of loans when I left.
Period of time?
Probably over about a 5-year period of
Wow.
time. Yeah.
They gave you a budget to do that?
Not really.
And what's the next
And very
question I'm
few
asking?
people.
And bonus?
And yeah, well, bonuses were there.
Okay, fine.
Maybe not as much. I should have worked on basis points.
Yeah,
instead
absolutely.
Of,
I was going to
bonuses.
say,
We did that.
give me a penny a day that increases, or $1 million, a penny, 2 pennies, 3 pennies for 30
Yeah,
days.
for 30
Which
days.
is
I'll
much
take the
bigger.
30 days.
1, 2, 4, right?
The
right,
pennies
exactly.
on 30 days.
Yeah, double every day.
And what was
So this is business 3.
that was business
the
3.
non-margin business.
Yes, and
Okay.
so I had a credit team in Salt Lake City that worked for me.
Really?
And,
Carl Malone was not part of the team.
No, and actually a great group of people. And today I think that team's probably 40 or 50 people in Salt Lake to
Really?
manage that size portfolio. But that
$15
turned
billion.
Yeah.
How do they make the loans locally if they're managing it there with local?
Well, so what happened was Morgan Stanley actually owned 2 banks. They owned a retail bank, which is headquartered at their wealth management headquarters in Purchase, New York, in Westchester County. Called Morgan Stanley Bank.
Oh, okay.
Morgan Stanley Private Bank.
Okay.
And I served as an officer of that bank. And then they had an institutional bank in Salt Lake City, Utah, also called just Morgan Stanley Bank.
Right.
And I served as an officer in that bank and ran CRA lending for both banks.
Which stands for?
Community Reinvestment Act. It's low-income housing loans.
Okay.
Either
When
for,
did that first come into existence?
the minute Morgan Stanley switched their charter from a broker-dealer to a Federal Reserve Bank holding company.
Okay.
So September of 08.
Really?
When they changed their charter and reached out for assistance from the Fed.
So
then
those
CRA.
loans being made to low-income people
Yeah.
were federal guaranteed?
No, they're not federal guaranteed. They're actually required by the OCC, who examines banks.
Right. OCC stands for?
The Office of the Comptroller of the Currency.
Right.
And
I knew that. I just wanted you to say it.
you wanted to see
I
if
didn't
I
know.
know
I wanted to know, by the way. Not OCD, OCC.
Yeah,
right?
OCC.
Okay, right.
And funny you mentioned that because we also had a third bank called Morgan Stanley Trust, which was regulated by the OTS, the
OTS.
Office of Thrift Supervision,
Oh, yeah.
which then
okay.
was merged into the OCC.
Interesting.
So our banks had both the Federal Reserve Bank, the OCC, and the FDIC for
Right.
the insurance as regulators.
Right.
And our broker-dealer had FINRA and the SEC to manage the broker-dealer.
Right.
And then, a few other sprinklings with state banking
And
regulators.
what were your title then? Let me see if I remember, because you used to give me a bunch of your new cards all the time.
Yeah, they changed a lot.
I remember.
Yeah,
I kept
like every year.
Actually, people had cards back then.
Yeah,
right?
they did,
So you would
yes.
hand me a card, and I would, oh, Scott, you got a new title. What was your title then?
Well,
Do you remember?
It was probably either executive director, probably executive director,
Yeah.
but that was better than vice president, but not as good as managing director. So it was somewhere in between those two.
And so that's business 3.
That was business 3.
And was that your full-time focus?
It was not. It was kind of a part-time because I never gave up the first job of managing credit risk.
Okay.
And actually, by that time, I had left, moved on at the request of senior management to take on all the capital markets activities. So fixed income trading, repo agreements, setting up option accounts, uncovered option
This
trading
is business
accounts.
4?
No, that
we're
was
not there
actually
yet.
more traditional capital
Okay,
markets
so that's-
business. So
okay.
yeah, not business 4, but almost where I started my
Right.
career, expanding into that area.